Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video I want to look at my team, seeing how well they performed in Game Week 30, then we'll move ahead to Game Week 31, 32, 33 and 34, which is a double game week. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. So for Game Week 30, as you can see, I've got 55 points. Just above the average of 54, and I made one free transfer. I removed Tony, who actually scored. He had a couple of penalties, but he did miss one of the penalties, so he's got 4 points to his name. And I brought in Haaland, and I wanted to captain him, and as you can see, there's 12 points for that game against Southampton. Scored a fantastic goal as well, and maximum bonus 3 points. So that was the strategy, was to bring Haaland back into the team and bought him at the right game week, really. My overall rank dropped a little bit, so from 39,000 I dropped around 5k places. It's not too bad, you know. I'm happy to drop a little bit. I think I might drop a little bit again in game week 31, but in game week 32 and onwards I think that might change, because I'm going to be using my free hit in game week 32. And I have the players that I need for the double game week 34. So that should give me a big green arrow, but we'll see. So let's have a quick look on my team. So as you can see, I played David De Gea instead of Kepa. So that decision went well. Yeah, really happy that Manchester United kept the clean sheet, although they could have got more big returns. Rashford with only 1 assist came off the 80 minutes mark, and I think he's injured for a couple of games. The biggest issue in my team is actually Bruno Fernandes. He's quite expensive, and yeah, he's not really returning. I'm hoping the next few games he can, because around game week 34, home fixture against Aston Villa, a Brighton fixture against so as you can see, this was my team lineup. I played David De Gea instead of Kepa. That worked out really well. Manchester United kept the clean sheet, although they should have got more goals and assists and so on. Rashford only got an assist. He was highly owned, and you know, every point that he returns, he would have got me a red arrow. So only a little assist there. And he is injured, so he's going to be out for a couple of games, and I am thinking to remove him. Fernandes with 3, very, very disappointing. An expensive player, you know, I can't really hold for too long. However, it's these fixtures, you know, Nottingham Forest could get something against Spurs. You just never know. There's a double here, and yeah, you know, I'm expecting him to return, you know, soon. So hopefully holding him on for a little bit more longer, he will return. Got McAllister and Matoma, both got 2. They could have got more against Tottenham, but yeah, that was a bad game for them. They played really well, but the decisions just didn't go their way. Arsenal players that I have got Gabriel and Saka. Most people don't have any Arsenal players, and for me, going into the last, you know, fixture here, you know, Liverpool versus Arsenal, I got a massive red arrow because of Salah and Martinelli and so on. All of these highly owned players actually performed well, so that's why I dropped in the ranks a little bit. But I still got some Arsenal players, so I'm thinking to hold them, because I think I'm in an advantage a little bit. The only player that I don't really have, well, actually there's 2. There's Harry Kane and Mo Salah. But I do have Arsenal players, and I think their fixture against West Ham is good. Then I'll free hit in game week 32, and then I'll start to remove them later on. Ben Mee and Trippier, yeah, clean sheet, wiped, as you can see there. Yeah, they played against each other. Just thought, why not? Let's see what happens. And as you can see, I got Watkins continued to score a goal. Scored a goal against Nottingham Forest, and Haaland with 24 points. Had Henry on the bench with 5. He's got an assist, but wasn't going to play him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So 5k drop. I will take that. I will take that because I wasn't expecting my team to do well. Now for game week 31, there is a small chance that I might get a green arrow. I'm hoping that I do. But the only players that can really hurt my rank is Harry Kane and Mo Salah. But I do have other players in my team that could do really well for this game week. I haven't sorted out my team yet, but I'll go through my team in a second. So the strategy is I am going to use a transfer in game week 31 because I'm going to be using my free hit in game week 32. Now in game week 32, I'm going to go ahead and bring in 3 Arsenal players, bring in 3 that I know that is going to play. I might go for Gabriel Jesus, as a little bit of a differential. Might go for Martinelli and Saka as well. Get those 3 players. I could go for a Leeds player. I could go for, Watkins and Tony if I wanted to for my strike force. There's a lot of people looking at Crystal Palace players against Everton. That's pretty damn good as well. Options to go for. Maddison could be a player that we could look out for if we got the space. I want to bring in 3 Liverpool players, like maybe Darwin or something, or Trent or Robertson and Salah. Well, not all 4 of them, but you know what I mean. Any of them, and Captain Salah. And like for Bournemouth versus West Ham, I could still keep Solanke, play him. And yeah, just take a little bit of a risk really to bring players that I'm not gonna use. Like I don't really want Darwin for long term, right? But I could bring him in here. I might not want Maddison for long term. I just want to hit. So there's a couple of players that I could bring in that I could just use for this game week, and yeah, that's it really. So I think 32 could be quite exciting, and 33 is where I'm thinking to maybe bank the transfer or go ahead and go and get Mo Salah for Saka. As you can see, Manchester City has a fixture against Arsenal, so I could remove Saka for Salah, free transfer. And then this is where the big double game week is. This is where I can start bringing in some defenders because I do need a couple of defenders that has a double. So that's kind of some of the strategies that I'm thinking about. But for my team, for going into game week 31, looking at it, like I mentioned, the only player here is Kane and Salah. If they do well, I'll get red arrow. If they don't do well, then there's a good chance that my team could bring in the points. So let's just do this, right? So the defense, I've got Ben Mee and Trippier. Okay, Ben Mee against Wolves. Wolves don't really score a lot of goals anywhere, even at home or away. And we've got Trippier, highly owned player, against Aston Villa. And I've got Watkins against them. So I just got to play them because they both could get some kind of return. In another crazy idea that I have is I want to play Dominic Solanke because against Tottenham he could get a return. I don't think Tottenham is that good as a team. So there is a chance that I might play him. But I think the team that I have, starting 11, I think I'm just going to go with. I don't think I'm going to play Botman because I do have Watkins and Henry. I do have me. So my defense isn't the best, let's just say. But I'm okay with it. This would do. It's fine. David De Gea against Nottingham Forest. Look, Nottingham Forest at home. They are better team than away. And, they're fighting for it. So there could be a lot of saves for David De Gea. And if there's a clean sheet, that will be fantastic. I've got Fernandes as well. Casemiro is back. I think Eriksen is there as well. So hopefully this will allow him to push forward. And hopefully that's the case. Manchester United still needs to win. Still needs to do well in the Premier League to get a good spot. So they've still got a lot of positions to play for. And Rashford is injured for a couple of games, so I'm going to remove him, and it's all about who am I going to remove him for. Looking at the Manchester City players, so I might go for one of them. And you got Mitoma and McAllister. I think this is a great fixture away against Chelsea. Chelsea lost against Real Madrid 2-0. I think Chelsea will rotate, and I think Brighton right now is just, yeah, they're looking really good, and I'm hoping that they can bring in the points, and especially for McAllister because he's lower owned than Mitoma. Yeah, still got the Arsenal players against West Ham. I think this is a good fixture, and I want to keep, Saka for this game week. I could remove him for -4 for Salah, but I think Saka could still damage me as well. This is kind of it's definitely going to help me out because a lot of people removed a lot of Arsenal players. And yeah, Watkins and obviously Haaland's going to be my captain. So yeah, Manchester City beating Bayern Munich 3-0. I think this will give them important players like Haaland and Grealish, maybe, more time to kind of play more instead of resting them. So I might go for Jack Grealish for Rashford. So let's just have a quick look. I've got 5.2, so quite a lot of money in the bank, and that was saved because I want to remove Saka for Salah, so I want to have that money. Now, I wasn't expecting Rashford to be injured, so I don't really have the money to actually bring in Salah for Rashford straight swap. I'm missing 0.4. So I could take a -4.8 and downgrade one of my defenders like Ben Mee or something and play Henry or whatever. So I could do something like that. But I think this game against Leicester City, Manchester City against Leicester City, and I can watch that as well. I think this could be where I could gain, right? Even though a lot of people are talking about bringing in Jack Grealish and whatever, he could be benched. But saying that, let's just say I do that, right? Let's just say I bring in Jack Grealish. I mean, I could go for Mahrez. But Jack Grealish has been doing really, really well lately, and he's looking good as well. It's not just these returns. Great fixture here. If I keep him, good fixture against Arsenal. Then he's got the double. So yeah, I really like that. I do want to invest in another Manchester City player anyway, and it all depends. And if I bring in Jack Grealish, right? If I bring in Jack Grealish, it's the same amount of money. I'm actually gaining 0.1. So, if Jack Grealish does not play, let's just say he's benched and he's not going to play, then I do have other players on my bench to kind of help me out. So I think I might go with this. I'm okay with this. I'm not going to make the transfer now. I'll probably just wait. But I think this is where I'll gain a lot of my points. And then in Game Week 32, I will obviously use the free hit. And then in Game Week 33, I will remove Saka for Salah, like this. And I got 1 million. And then in Game Week 34, I'll go ahead and bring in another, double Game Week player. So I could look at Robertson or Van Dijk. So I could take a -4.8, fix the back line a little bit and get a few, could do something like that, but I'll be okay with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Hopefully I can maintain the rank. If I can stay in the top 50k, that would be good. If I could get a good green arrow, that will be even better. But I think 32 is where I will gain my green arrow. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.